Hello and welcome to Fun in Summertime at Explore Tulsa. This time we start the show getting down and dirty on two wheels.
Then we learn how to be invasion ready.
Followed by the Hops Master.
Plus smart things to do with kids.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. It's wonderful to have you here with us today for another Explore Tulsa. Now, Stevie, did you ever ride dirt bikes?
Oh, you better believe it. I come from the Evel Knievel generation. My dad actually took my brother and I to see Evel jump 13 cars in the Houston Astrodome. That inspired me to jump my Suzuki TS125 over 14 Hot Wheels years later.
Ooh, wow, you're so macho. Luckily today, kids don't have to take the chances that little Knievel here did.
That's right, Trish. Just pack up the family, head 30 miles south down Highway 75, and you'll find Jandebeur's MotorSports Park.
A safe way for everyone to learn, train, and race on two wheels.
It's the adrenaline of riding and the fun of, in my case, having all the years to ride. So I have an instinct of being able to ride that's safe, and it's invigorating. It keeps me fit, and your mind doesn't think about all the worries and all the issues. You're just out there, you and the bike, having the best time. Bob Jandebeur. Started racing motorcycles when I was young. My dad had a motorcycle dealership, and it seemed like a fun thing to do. And I'm 62 years old. I feel 40. I'm still riding motorcycles. I found myself with Noah wanting to ride here at this little track just south of Tulsa near Okmulgee, and the track closed, and he was like really disappointed because it was our place to come ride on the weekends. And he's like, Dad, you should run that track. Hadn't really thought about being a track operator. And so the more I thought about it, Dad and I went and talked to the people who own the land. And next thing I know, here I'm coming up on 4 years later. Have had well over 2,000 different participants come to this park and ride, taught well over a couple of hundred kids to ride, and now this week we're having one of our very popular kids motocross camps where they come spend 5 days off and on with us, and we teach them the skills. We teach them how to ride smart. They're very eager to learn because they want to go race, and some of them want to win, and so they want to get those skills down so they learn how to pass in the corner, and they know how to get air. Getting air seems to be the most important, but we don't start with that. We start with rider position, how to turn, how to lean, how to fall down. When you tell them I'm going to teach how to fall down, they look at me like I'm crazy. But it's knowing that it's okay, and here's where you go, and this is how it feels when you fall down. We don't call it crash, we fall down. We say to them, there's two sides of the brain. One, the throttle, which the guys all like to turn and get that thrill of getting air. And the other is the thinking side of the brain. And so my task is to help them understand how both of those should work together so they become safer riders, and they have a level of comfort where then riding and their parents can watch this and say, now I feel more comfortable, because bad habits can lead to getting hurt. And we're all about teaching those good habits. My boys started learning to ride, and now I've got Noah at 14 wants to go pro. Well, he's one of the top riders in the state, and they were on his 5th year of racing. So he started younger than we did. I think I started riding when I was 13. Noah started when he was 7. But when we rode, we weren't clearing 95-foot jumps, and we didn't have the sophisticated suspension. We had 3 inches of travel, now they have 9. So they are made to be able to launch higher and farther.
My name's Noah Jandebeur. I'm 14 years old, and I like to hit jumps. I ride a YZ Super Mini It's 112, and I race just about every weekend.
You know, I grew up in that wholesome family environment, and today there's so many things tugging at kids and families. And if we can provide a place that's safe, that teaches them competitiveness, they get off the couch, off those video games, which don't do anything to stimulate them other than the games, and they like to learn to ride and be outdoors. And to me, there isn't a place around like this. Sure, there's tracks where you get on the track and race, but we're a park, so we've got different levels of track skills required here. We've got trails through the trees, we've got a nice clubhouse, and we rent motorcycles, so we try to do all the things we can to encourage and get more kids in the sport.
Wow, Trish, that brought back so many great memories of trail riding.
Was it just like the good old days?
Well, it was just as much fun, but I sure was sore a lot longer.
To learn how you and your family can get the full experience, visit jteamracing.com.
Learning how to be safe doesn't end on the track.
No, it doesn't, Stevie. And next, we'll meet a former Green Beret that will help us feel safer and prepared in the event of a home invasion.
Get ready for the zombie apocalypse next on Explore Tulsa.
The Tulsa shores of the Arkansas River have seen unending activity throughout the ages. For 28 years, Video Revolution has been here working on Tulsa time, doing what we do best, providing cutting-edge electronics at an absolute guaranteed lowest price. And when the new technology comes sweeping down the plains just a little too fast, our professional sales and installation staff can put it all together for that ultimate high-definition home theater experience now in 3D. Video Revolution, south down the river over to 71st and Lewis.
Hey, it's Stevie from Explore Tulsa with my friend and optometrist for many years, Dr. Robert Zellner. Tell everybody why it's so good to come in to see you.
Well, that's a great question. Let's see, we've got two great locations. We try to stay cutting edge at every point along the way because let's face it, everybody wants to come in and get taken care of in a timely fashion and get the latest, greatest stuff and save some money and get on with their life. And see clearly.
And if you don't believe it, look on the website.
Absolutely, drzellner.com. You can find that we have our two locations at 69th and Memorial and 3030 South Harvard, or you can give us a call at 749-2020 or 461-2020.
And I got 4 kids, and I gotta tell you, as a big family like that, it's affordable too.
Oh yes, and of course, the number one reason, you save some money. I mean, with our 2-pair specials, with our different unique packages that we put together, I mean, you can come in here and your money can go a lot farther than anywhere else.
And that's why with Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates, seeing is believing.
Oh, I like that, Stevie. Well done.
Hello, and thanks for staying with us for more Explore Tulsa. Stevie, what are you doing now?
Trish, you never know.
Oh, yeah, with you, that is so true. But what are we talking about now?
Prowlers, Trish. Home invaders. You gotta be ready at all times.
Yeah, it might be nice if you have some training on how to handle those situations too, Stevie.
Hey, I've seen every episode of The Walking Dead.
Not that kind of training, Stevie. More people have handguns for protection in their homes than ever before. And with that comes the responsibility to be well trained.
I know just the guy too, Trish. Former Special Forces Green Beret, Clint Dooley. He even has a name that sounds Army tough.
There's 5 animals that I usually try to get young adults to identify with in order to increase their awareness, but they work just as well for us too. Is most people walk around in field mice mode where they have their head in their phone and they're jamming away and they don't have their eyes up, so when they get plucked out of the field by a bird, they're really surprised, right? Well, I want everybody to go from that field mice mentality to an owl. An owl that always has its eyes up, it puts itself in the best possible position to have a good field of view, and it sees something, it just repositions itself. It's hard to sneak up on an owl. If you do see something, then you go into the cheetah mindset where you're going to think really quick around the problem, over the problem, under the problem, through the problem, but you're not going to get into an engagement with the problem because you're going to outthink it. If you get cornered and let's say you didn't see it and someone grabs you and pulls you into an alleyway or next thing you know punches you and throws you into your car, well, you're going right to lion mode. You're going to be fierce, you're going to be effective, and you're only in lion mode long enough to get back to cheetah mode, to get back to owl mode. Now the last animal is you don't want to be on either side of that spectrum. You have the field mice right here, and people that don't have that training and the ability to slide up and down in the middle, they go from field mice to fainting goat, where they just kind of lay down and are at the mercy of their attacker, and we don't want them to be at either spot. My name is Clint Dooley, and I'm the owner and operator of B.I.A Training Solutions. My background is that I did 12 years in the military. I graduated here in Jinx in 2001. After 9/11, I signed up for the Army and went right into the war in Iraq for the invasion. Came back and started going to school, and my dad passed away unexpectedly, and that's what kind of propelled me into doing it full time. I left here, went to the 82nd Airborne Division, jumped out of a lot of planes over the next few years. Then afterwards, I was playing rugby at Bragg, and a couple SF guys came up to me and they said, "Clint, we hear you're getting out, and we think you should, consider coming to selection and working with guys like us." Not to be confused with special operations, talking about the Green Berets. So I went through the Q course, I became a weapons specialist, got to an A team, and did multiple deployments to Afghanistan. The pinnacle of being an operator in Afghanistan was getting to work with the indigenous forces, training them, advising them, equipping them, eating with them at night, and then taking them out on missions and see them and the impact they would have in their hometowns. But when I came back, I started working at the United States Shooting Academy in Owasso, where I taught pretty much everything, and then from there I made the jump over here to B.I.A. What we do is we create an environment. It's a less than lethal training facility, so you don't have any problems or thoughts of injury or anything like that, and what that does is it lowers your anxiety. And when your anxiety is lowered, then all of a sudden your ears start hearing what's being said versus trying not to. Have you ever let a dog out and it's just totally overwhelmed by traffic passing by? Well, that's kind of what it is when you take someone who is brand new to shooting and you put them on a range. They are just eyes every which way, and they're having a hard time focusing on you because they're way outside of their element. Well, what I wanted to do is I wanted to create an element to where people could come in the very first time, feel right at ease, train them, and increase their survivability the first time. I'm so good at what I do that I'm going to find those talents inside of you and I'm going to bring them out. And you're not going to have to change who you are. You're just going to have to understand that there's some things you can do, some things you can't do, and you have me to work with you on everything in between. I don't know, it means the world to me to say, listen, I came in, I got to do what I was trained to do, which is teach people how to protect themselves. And it's not just a teaching thing where they just came in to have fun and shoot some paint and they're out. It's actually something that is going to serve them well, and I've already gotten a couple calls from people that have had to use some of these things, and they're like, I heard your voice in my head the entire time. I was in this situation. Did anything happen? No? Okay, because you saw it. And she goes, as soon as I saw it, your voice was in my head, and I did what I thought. I went right back to B.I.A. and I was like, this isn't a strange situation. I've been here. I know what to do. Versus, oh God, what do? I don't know what to do. And then going right into that fainting goat mode. So it means the world to me.
I got to tell you, when Clint stood up next to the target and said, "Go ahead, take the kill shot in a hostage situation," I said,
Were you nervous?
Well, I wasn't so much nervous of hitting him as I was scared of what he'd do if I did hit him. I mean, the man is Special Forces Green Beret.
You saw how easy he taught Stevie to shoot, so there's no reason why you can't do it too. Visit BIATrainingsolutions.com to learn more.
The training was fun, but now I'm ready to take a little of the edge off.
I have just the thing. Our next guest is Tulsa World Chief Photographer and blog writer of What the Ale. I'm sure he can offer you a thing or two you might be interested in.
Yeah, like a brewski when we return with more Explore Tulsa.
It's ORU like you've never seen before. ORU's Conference and Event Centers invites you to consider us for your next event. With over a dozen venue options and more than 40 years of putting on big shows, we're confident we have just the right venue solution for you. ORU's Conference and Event Services is a full-service operation catering to the needs of the university and the community of Tulsa. Getting married? Then the Prayer Gardens or Christ Chapel can accommodate any size wedding party. Or if your event is all business, ORU has the finest conference, banquet facilities, and equipment in all of Oklahoma. And we have plenty of fun too, with summer camps covering volleyball, soccer, swimming, baseball, and more. Call and find out how ORU Conference and Event Services can be your all-inclusive event venue. 918-495-6400.
Hey there, if you're a lover of fine local or home brew, then you'll want to grab a glass and take a seat at the Explore Tulsa bar.
Well, we don't really have a bar, but what we do have is some quality time with Tulsa World What the Ale writer Tom Gilbert.
I met Tom recently at Memorial High School's graduation. Both of our daughters were graduating, and we got to talking about his blog.
And let me guess, you thought it might be pretty fun to learn a little bit more about beer.
That's a great idea, Trish.
Some of the moments that I remember is just going from one extreme to the other. You can go to a fire where a family's lost everything, and then go to a black tie dinner where people are raising millions of dollars, and you see the the differences of that. This is Tulsa. Tulsa's that way. I mean, you can go from one block to the next and have two extremes, of wealth or what have you. And it's just Tulsa's a great, diverse community, and I think that's what's made it fun for me. I mean, every day is something different, and there's not really one thing that just blows me away. I mean, I've shot lots of photos, I've won awards. It's just, I think, getting those shots is what's the fun part. I'm Tom Gilbert. I've been shooting photos for the Tulsa World since 1987. Journalism really sort of found me. I went to school, actually I traveled to Saudi Arabia when I was younger, and that sort of started a few things in my life. I started shooting photos there because I was in a foreign country, and it was, I wanted to capture experience. And then Saudi Arabia doesn't allow alcohol, so a lot of people that I was 13 at the time, so I wasn't doing anything, but I learned about brewing. And then I got into processing film. I mean, that was just processes. Brewing's a process, so is photography's a process. So, starting out, we used to bulk load our, black and white film back when I was first starting out, and you have a 100-foot roll of black and white film, and you self-load to save money, and then you got usually 36 exposures on there. And now I got probably 3,000 shots on one camera, and I can shoot video on my camera, and it's crazy the amount of changes that's happened. And then I went to school and found journalism's like, oh, this is pretty easy, this is sort of fun. I can go to all these events and everybody's having a good time and I get to go for free. So it sort of worked out. When I got back from Saudi Arabia, I started homebrewing. So I've been homebrewing since I was 16, even though it may have not been legal, but my parents let me do it. And then my sister lived in Germany, so we went to Germany for vacations, and I traveled there on my senior year in high school. I spent a month in Europe. So just seeing the culture there, and it was like, why isn't this in the United States? I mean, this culture is just, it's not everyone's drinking beer all the time, it's just they drink quality beer. And they drink it at lunch, and no one abuses it. So we're taught here that, we're slammed with advertising, say drink, drink, drink. Well, it's not about that, it's about the quality. And that's what I like about Oklahoma is real craftsmen are brewing these beers here. And Oklahoma's really thrived in the brewing industry because now we have 12, 15 breweries in the state. And some are smaller, some are larger, but we need to embrace that, I think, because it's a craft industry. To see growth in an industry and to be at the front end of it, that's more exciting than, say, somebody in a town that's already got all their beers and they're just recycling through things. I mean, we got two breweries right now getting ready to break ground on or rent out a place, and that's pretty. Right now we have 3 breweries, but only 2 are brewing in Tulsa, so that's doubling our capacity here in Tulsa. So, and that's only going to keep on increasing, I believe.
I tell you, Tom has a tough gig, running out there with guys like Eric Marshall and having to taste their wares for work.
You'll be able to find plenty of Tom's work both in photography and writing at tulsaworld.com.
Or search for his What the Ale blog and learn all about the best Oklahoma has to offer.
Another of Oklahoma's finest is coming up on Explore Tulsa.
This time it started as an idea between 2 besties, and now it's a welcome gift to parents everywhere.
Just ahead on Explore Tulsa, we'll learn all about Autumn and Jennifer's brainchild, Bright Tot for Kids.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99 or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Persimmon Hollow Flea Market Village. Come and join us for our annual Summerfest Arts and Crafts Festival. Saturday and Sunday, June 14th and 15th, 10 to 5 both days. Shop 16 buildings on 3 acres, free admission and parking's free too. Find us 1 block east of 71st and Garnett, behind the Salvation Army store.
If you're a parent or a grandparent of youngins out there looking for a way to entertain them while they learn, then you'll be so glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
That's right, Stevie. Bright Tot is an educational tool that's a gift in a box every month for both kids and parents alike.
I first met Autumn Morton in high school at Booker T. Washington here in Tulsa, and we've been friends ever since, for about a decade and a half. So we both became moms around the same time and started the journey of motherhood together. And we kind of are on 2 different ends of the spectrum. She's a working mom, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and we've made a lot of different, decisions when it comes to parenting, but the one thing that we had in common is that we wanted to make sure that we were being able to spend quality time with our kids. And so we were really in search of a product that would enable us to do that really easily and conveniently, and just didn't really find anything, and so we decided to come up with our own idea.
I think just brainstorming, we originally were thinking about targeting towards elementary school kids, and so we had really developed what that looked like, and we kind of started thinking more about the toddlers and kind of playing around with some names and brainstorming, and it just kind of came to us.
One night we were at Autumn's house and all of our kids were playing together, and we were just talking about kind of the stress of being a mom and trying to live up to that standard you have in your head. There's Pinterest online, and you see all these moms posting pictures of all these neat crafts that they're doing with their kids and science experiments and these elaborate birthday parties, and you just feel a lot of pressure as a mom to kind of live up to that standard. And we both just felt like there aren't enough hours in the day to get all of that done. And so we kind of thought, wouldn't it be neat if someone could just deliver to your doorstep conveniently in one box all of the supplies, all of the materials, all of the instructions, so that all you had to do was just spend quality time enjoying and having fun with your kid. And so that's kind of where the idea came about.
Do we have
Yeah, it was kind of a partnership made in heaven. I have an education background. I was a public school teacher for Tulsa Public Schools before I became a mom, and I also was a director of education for a private company. And then my business partner, Autumn, has an MBA and kind of has more of a business background, and so it's kind of the perfect match of business and education coming together to create this business.
So it's really cool because we get to use her expertise for developing the content, and we get to test it on our own kids because they're in our target age range, so we are our customer. And then I get to use my business background more on the sales and strategy side, on the marketing piece, and really kind of help the brand come to life. So it's been a really fun experience.
Right there. I think that's the convenience of what we offer with Bright Tot, is that you don't have to search online for hours to find ideas. You don't have to run from Michael's to Hobby Lobby to Walmart to pick up everything you need. We just conveniently deliver everything you need in the exact quantities that you need. So it's all right there at your fingertips, just to dig in with your kid. So each month we come up with a new fun theme, anything from outer space to the Wild Wild West to ancient Egypt. And each box we cover 3 components: develop, create, and move. The develop component really focuses on building that strong academic foundation of pre-reading, writing, and math skills, where you really dig in with some fun activities that also have a learning objective. And then the create component are crafts, fun art projects that you can do with your kid. And then the move component actually are fresh games and ideas to get your kid up and active instead of sitting in front of a tablet like so many of our kids do. So we really wanted to create a well-rounded product that covered all 3 of those kind of targets, both academic, creative or artistic, and then active movement, all within the kind of context of a fun, child-friendly theme.
I would say our garden theme that we sent out last month is probably one of my favorites. There were tons of activities in there. Our kids loved playing with them. We couldn't peel them away. And then the outer space box was a lot of fun, very interactive for the kids to play with as well. So we just launched in January, and one thing that we wanted to do is be able to create a really strong presence here in Tulsa. Since we're born and raised here, we have ties here. We really want to give back to the Tulsa community. So what we've done actually is created a Tulsa themed box. And so we're going to release that in Ida Red here within the next month or two to allow Tulsans and their toddlers to experience and discover Tulsa in a new way. So the fact that other parents get to spend that time, and then they'll post pictures and tag us on Facebook and Instagram, and you know, it's awesome to see them being able to really connect with their kids. I think there's just no way to explain that feeling. There's no greater feeling, because I know how much the product has helped me spend time with my kid, and that's just priceless.
I wish I had bright tots when my kids were little. Check this out, Trish.
It's a great way to help your kids learn new things while having fun. And the activities are good for keeping your co-hosts occupied too. Visit brighttot.com to learn how to get started for yourself.
I think I'm just about done.
Stick around, there's more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
Ever since the first movie theaters opened in the early 1900s, man has been trying everything to bring that same experience home to enjoy with their families. And for more than 30 years, Video Revolution and their home entertainment experts have been making those dreams come true by designing custom home theater solutions for both in and outdoor use. From 1080p LEDs to the brand new Sony 4K flat panel TVs, or come in to see the latest in sound bars and surround sound setups. Always the top name brands are found at Video Revolution. That same electronic expertise we also apply to your business communications network, from boardroom automation to video wall presentations. No matter what technology the future holds, you can count on Video Revolution to be leading the way. Tulsa's headquarters for the best selection and installation of cutting-edge electronics. Video Revolution on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Be sure and join us next week when we meet Christian and gospel musician Kendall Dean.
We want to thank Bob Jandebeur for showing us around Jandebeur's MotorSports Park. Thanks for keeping it safe for the kids.
Thanks too to Clint Dooley of B.I.A. Training Solutions for teaching us about firearms and how to be safe. Also to Tom Gilbert with the Tulsa World. Thanks for keeping us informed with What the Ale.
Plus thanks to Autumn and Jennifer for helping parents everywhere with Bright Tot.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook. Share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of the two-pair for a $129 deal with 2 locations. 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.